Well, at least somebody did around here.
Yeah, certainly wasn't me.
No, not me. I was good in shop.
Well, shoot. That's dope. At least you got that.
See, but that's a job now. I can't do anything with spelling money.
Yeah, there's this thing called spell check now. Dude, remember?
I'm no longer marketable.
Spell check is left me in the dust a few times. It's like,
Really?
I'm putting things out there and it's like, why are you correcting this? I know I'm spelling it right.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, no, you're right.
Especially like names. It'll always want to change my last name to some weird thing.
So,
What is your last name?
Spang. Spang. Like Spangled Banner. It'll always want to change it to Sponge or
Did you
Spring.
know that Chris, the Rock was reckless? It was the Rockets' red player. You don't get it, do you?
No.
I get it.
Spangler?
Yeah.
Star Spangled Banner?
Yep.
Okay.
That's where we got it.
So his mom says to her son, Junior, what does OMG, IDK, and TTYL mean? And he says, I don't know. Oh my God. Talk to you later. She's like, well, fine. I'll just ask your sister then. Our conversation reminded me of that joke.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, oddly enough,
I might
hear
pick
about that
up
stuff with my
my...
kid and it's like,
Oh my gosh.
stop.
Yep. Yep.
RB, just say the words. You're not even saving any syllables. Be right back to the same amount of syllables. RB.
Yep. We went to a restaurant and the waitress says, do you want to hear today's special? I said, sure, yeah. So she goes, today is special. And I said, look, I can appreciate... I said, look, I can appreciate a dad joke as much as the menu as the next guy, but can you please just tell me about the menu, please? And she says, the men I please is none of your business.
Menu, please. Have you made a TikTok of that yet?
I'm on live right now.
That is really good.
Because we were talking about Prince, and I thought I can just put it on live and I'll chop it up later.
I got it. Write that down. That is a good one. And I forgot about my TTYL joke.
Because it's Rob's birthday today. Righto. You look so steezy.
When I see these new video games, PvP.
You look really steezy.
Even with my tattoo.
Yep. Even with your tattoo.
Player versus player.
PvP is player versus of course.
Look, your jersey.
Why?
That's not my jersey. That's actually Mr. Robbie Rob's.
Saving that much
Oh yeah, but it's your favorite team.
No.
That's actually not my favorite football team. My favorite football team is the Rams. And that is a Vikings jersey. I like the Vikings, but they're not my favorite team.
No, mine neither.
And that's why we're going to go watch them play football against the Rams later this year, we're hoping. Would that be fun? You, me, and Sarah?
I didn't care for the Vikings after I had to work on their stadium.
I lost hope on them after the boat. The Lake Minnetonka boat incident.
Is that where they crashed it?
It's where they paid a bunch of ladies of the night and other nefarious type folk. Half of the team got suspended for like the first 3 games because they were all ineligible due to like admittance of all of the drugs that were on the boat and
That sounds like my sophomore year.
of high school or college.
High school.
Okay.
No ladies of the night, but there was one party that about 80% of the class went to
Okay.
in the middle of the winter when the parents were gone. They cleaned up their mess and put it in garbage bags.
Yep.
Threw it out in the woods behind the house in the middle of winter under snow and whatever. About 3 months later, Dad goes out to the back woods.
Eat your tomatoes
grabs
too.
some wood, cut something down for the fireplace, finds the bags. forces the daughter to narc.
Yep.
So the entire grade gets pulled into the gym with the principal, gym teachers, all that, and we all, whether we were there or not, we all get yelled at.
Nice.
And 80% of the students, anyone who was in a sport and anything that did any kind of activity, it's like you're all
From
basically-
chess club to football, you mean?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
See, that's the way it used
Choir,
to be.
band, sports.
Yep. Yeah, as long as it's uniform, I'm
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about that on one of my last lives too. Is like I think that because I think I was talking with you about how the Texas judges
Right.
aren't even given your name.
Yeah.
They're given your case, and they decide that if you're found guilty, this is your punishment.
Right.
So like you're being tried for selling 5 kilos of cocaine. All right, 5 kilos. It's 5 years a kilo, so 25 years. That's your minimum sentence if you're found guilty. We can talk about that in a second.
Is your watermelon good?
Yeah, she brought watermelon too.
You did?
She plowed through a bunch. Yeah.
It was very nice of you, young lady.
Yes. Thank you, O. So they decide all that before they even see your name.
Right.
So they don't know if you're a man, woman, what color, ethnicity, background, nothing. They just know what you're accused of, and this is your minimum sentencing. And then they do the trial, and it can't be less than that because he has to submit, or she, whoever the judge is, has to submit that minimum sentencing to the DA first. And then the DA gives them the case. That's yours. Nope. Our deal was you have 2 of each kind of fruit.
No, don't you have?
That's yours.
It's not a fruit, that's ketchup.
Yeah.
Before
That's-
it's crushed.
Yep.
It's ketchup.
That's pre-ketchup. Turn it into ketchup in your mouth.
Eat it with the French
You got
fries.
plenty of salt right there on your chips. You can turn it into a thing of ketchup pretty easy, I bet.
True.
We'll give you mustard later.
But I think that's how it should be for anything, in every state.
That's so much,
I think it should just
evens it out.
yeah, because then, I mean, honestly, that would cut out so much of the argument. I was gonna say the conversation, but it would cut out the argument.
Totally.
It would end everything. We'd be like, okay, you know,
Sob stories.
Jay is accused. Right. There's not me walking away scot-free because I got caught with 3 joints when Jay gets arrested for 20 years for the same thing.
Right.
And there's not
And they don't know you're rich, so they're not like, I'm scared to make the
right.
right decision here.
Right. That was the funniest thing a couple times when it was like senators' daughters in Texas
Ooh.
because the minimum sentencing got handed down before they found out that oh crap.
That's really smart, man. How long has this been going on?
Yep.
Is it always
When
been
I
like that?
lived in Texas, it was that way, and I assume it's still that way, and that was 2010.
The whole country should be like that.
So,
You guys remember that movie Risky Business?
yes.
Tom Cruise?
Yep.
You said Ladies in the Night that made me think of it.
I was like, how'd you get there? Now I remember. That was a couple conversations ago. I got it. I'm with you.
I saved it.
There's Rob cooking all the
Not get away
food.
from making that movie now.
Hi, baby.
Wait, what? Risky Business.
No.
Can you imagine how angry people would be?
But also, like,
This is the Me Too movement, and that's not the way women are supposed to be used.
I mean, wasn't he 16?
Yeah, he's supposed to be
And that lady was like 30.
it's a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a very good point.
Oh, that's bad. Think about the songs that you grew up with that you were singing back then that you can't sing now.
She's only 17.
Yep.
Or she's 16. You're beautiful and you're mine.
Daddy, did you
Yeah, that's a good point. Or like all of the movies that like they might remake, but they'd have to change all of like the parental guidance labels on.
Seriously.
Like if they remade Gremlins now, because that was just PG, because PG-13 didn't exist.
That was Pete.
That's all it was. It's in the kids section at Walmart.
Was that the movie that made him do PG-13?
No. There was one movie prior, but the first famous movie to be PG-13 was one of the Indiana Joneses.
Right, Temple of Doom.
Yep.
Too scary with the
Well, the
bugs.
first one was Red Dawn.
There-
Really?
Red Dawn was the very first PG-13 ever made.
but it wasn't released until after the Indiana Jones movie. It was made prior, but it wasn't released.
Oh, no, man.
I'm willing to debate you on this. I have my smartphone, but I'm filming our live. I can't look it up. Somebody's got to look it up.
There was one. There was a movie called, I think it was Dungeon Master.
I remember this, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Guys called Night Court.
Right, yeah, that's good.
Oh man.
PG-13 movie to be
The movie was PG,
Yeah.
but when I watched it, it's
Red
like-
Dawn.
when the-
Red Dawn was? Okay, I concede.
Hi. So today I am literally watching Santa Claus and the Snowman.
Whoa.
This was PG. Really? Holy cow!
Yeah. Yeah, Gremlins.
Hey, Benny Hill.
But then on the same vein, like
That was Channel 2.
like I watched.
So that was like nature.
Have you ever seen the movie The Blob?
Yeah.
That came out in like it was black and white in the 50s, right?
Yeah.
So that was rated R, and I watched it in 6th grade science class. So like that's, you know what I mean? Like the same vein, like to flip that the other way. That's one of those movies that like, you know.
Hi. I just got my face
There's no
painted.
swearing. There's no nudity. There's
Yeah.
no violence. It's rated R because it's
See, this
scary.
is icicle.
Yeah.
It's just
Right
so
here.
scary.
It's just, yeah. They couldn't not make it that.
Yeah.
And that's like I saw that because I worked at the movie theater at the time, and I'm like, there's no
Nobody dies or anything.
there's no use of anything either. There's no like illicit drug or alcohol abuse or anything.
Conjuring?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Say hi, Daddy.
Yeah, but it's mortifying though. Like it's so scary.
Can you imagine what they would rating they would put on the
Switch
G.I.
the
Joe
camera,
and
Daddy.
He-Man nowadays?
Switch
It depends. Yeah, the 80s ones? Yeah, that'd be
The 80s.
yeah,
He-Man,
that's a
G.I.
good
Joe.
point.
But I mean, you look at it, it's like, oh, just G.I. Joe.
So I
Nobody
have
ever died.
two.
I don't think
No.
true.
But everything the plane got shot down. you
So
see parachute.
today I
True.
just
Yeah, they always show like even like the side character, like the stormtrooper level guys that like don't actually matter, the extras. They always still escape too. They always show them even parachuting
He
out.
jumped out of the tank before that missile.
They
hit,
did.
and it's like,
Totally. Yeah.
dang. You're
That's
quick.
that's a good point. Yeah, they should train our current.
today I'm gonna show you my face painting. So
That dude definitely liked
here's
you.
some sparkles.
They said you are cute.
Yes, he did. Because they fit. My son and I watched the new version
Right.
on Netflix, and it's like, I was just thinking back, it's like, remember She-Ra?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
She-Ra. They just
Back when
re-released
they
that on
knew how to
Netflix.
draw women. Back when they knew how to draw women.
Right. Oh.
There were crossovers. There were crossovers between He-Man and She-Ra.
Okay.
And all of the women in She-Ra